If you think that I can't find my way out of a bad situation, just swatch me. Good morning. Welcome to day 67 of the 100-day project. So here's my thinking for today. I have a few items in my room that I would like to keep track of the brand name and the colors, and I have never been one of these people that carries around swatch books or even swatches all my supplies or anything like that. But recently I've been swatching my watercolors just to have a little paper as a guide so I know what I'm using. And the more I use some of my products that I haven't been using much, I realize, I would like to know what that color is going to look like before I waste the effort and time to test it and try to figure it out before I use it. So I am very interested in the last months in colors, swatches, color blending, things like that. I guess it's a progression, a natural progression of when you create things. You start off with things that interest you and you move through things as you do things, and things grab your attention and you just develop over time your ideas of what is most interesting to you. So right now, today, I want swatch books. So I'm going to create myself a swatch book, and I'm going to create a swatch book I can carry with me to the store. And I know I could just get a little journal and carry around a journal, but what's the fun in that? I want to make the swatch books that I carry. So I've got two I'm going to make here, and this book here, it's a 34 sheet book, so front and back would make it 68 pages. I can't even imagine that I have enough stuff to swatch all these pages. For now, the swatch book that I want to keep in my art room that I'm going to be referencing, I'm just going to use this mixed media Strathmore visual journal, and it's a 9x12. It's a 90-pound weight. So that's what this book is for. This book is out because I'm thinking of using these papers for the inside of the swatch books I want to make to take with me whenever I have to go to the store to buy something. The big book is just to swatch everything, like all the pencil colors, all the oil pastel colors, all the ink colors, that kind of thing. This is more for, I want to keep this color on hand, and if I run out, I want to be able to know what it is I need right away. Like my Americana Spa Blue, that will go in the book because I love that color and I want to keep it on hand. I actually have a bunch of bottles, so I don't need it right now. But it'll go in this book, and when I go to the store, I can reference it. If suddenly they discontinued that color, I would just have my swatch book with me, and I would have that Spa Blue swatch, and I would hold it up to any of the other brands they have and get as close to that Spa Blue color as I can. So that is another reason why I want a swatch book, because there is one color I ran out of that I actually went to replace, and I don't think they have that color anymore. So if I have the swatch, I at least can look at the bottle and try to get as close as I can. So this is going to require you to eat some candy. I'm very, very sorry. If you don't like candy, I don't know what to say. If you can't eat candy, I'm very sorry. Just find something you can eat. I just tried these for the first time. We had a couple of appointments we had to go to in Nashville, which is not something we usually have to do. And we stopped at Whole Foods and picked up a couple things we needed on the way home. And we saw these at the checkout, and they just look so good. And I tried these, and they are so good. My favorite one is this one of the two, but they're both very good. So I got this at Whole Foods. It's a company from Chapel Hill, North Carolina called Griff's Toffee. No sponsor, just a shout out to Griff's Toffee because they make really good toffee. I really loved it. So I'm going to use these two boxes that I've got for my little journals that I'm going to carry around when I go somewhere. One is for acrylics and one is for other stuff, just because I want to separate them. I don't know why. I just feel like it. Maybe I want to make two things. I don't know. Could put them in one book. And this is the paper that I'm probably going to use to put in the books. I'd like to at least get one book started. I've already taken one box apart and taken off the ends. I left one intact so I could show you what I'm doing. But I thought I would get at least the pages cut out for the book and maybe the outside decorated. Tomorrow, I'll try to finish up the books and maybe I'll do some swatching. I don't know. I'm going to play it by ear. So I totally ruined the cover of the big book. So I'm scratching that entire section, and we're going to do the small books, and then I'll regroup, and then I will work on a big book. But it's not going to be today because I'm over it. All right, so I'm going back to my little boxes, and I really want one of these now. First, take your box, whatever size box that you decide to use, and open it up. Usually there's a little piece on the side here that you can slide your finger under or knife or something. And then take off all these extra little folds that make the box. Take all those off. We're not going to need those. When you get done with that, you have this. And this is going to be my front cover, my back cover, and my spine. And then I'm going to cut the inside pieces for my book. And I'm going to use this mixed media paper by Strathmore. It's 90 pounds. I just need to figure out what size I need. So I'm going to do a little tracing. I'm going to put my book down. I don't need the pages as big as my book. So when I cut them, I'm going to cut just a little bit smaller than the actual line that I'm making. So I have a line here and a line here. I'm going to take my self-healing cutting mat and I'm going to line my paper up here to make it even. And I'm going to cut my pages just a little bit smaller. Okay, and then I'm going to fold it in half because I just want to test the size and see if I like it. Stick it in my book. That looks like what I want. I'm not sure how many I'm going to cut, but I'm going to have like 3 signatures in here with maybe 2 or 3 sheets each. So I wound up with 3 signatures and 3 pages each, and I folded them in half. Then what I did was I took a piece of paper, just a thin piece of paper. I kind of measured out the center, guesstimating, and I made a little strip of paper that fit inside here in the folds. And I marked 3 little dots across the top, the bottom, and the center, approximately evenly spaced. I just eyeballed it. I didn't measure. And I'm going to take a pokey tool. You can use an awl or a needle or anything that will work for you. And I'm just going to put my holes in here. Now I'm going to go through and poke the holes in my pages here. I'm just going to center this right in the center. And that way when I bend my book, I can get the center hole and just find where it's supposed to go. So I put a hole in the center, and I'm just going to do it down here too at the bottom. I did this as a grouping of 3, and it'll fit right there, just like that. And I'm going to do these 2. I'm going to go ahead and put my signatures in my book. I had originally thought that I was going to decorate my book first, but I want to hide the binding. Thought I would put my pages in and then cover the strings because I don't want any loose strings on this one. So I've got my first signature. I took unwaxed dental floss. I measured out for each signature 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So as many signatures as you have, give it yourself at least 3 times the size. Probably don't need that much, but it's just good to have extra and not too little. And I've left mine in 1 long string, which is probably going to cause me problems, but I didn't want to cut 3. So, and I'm going to start on the outside because I want my strings on the outside because I'm going to cut them short and I'm going to hide them. There's 3 holes, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm starting in the one closest to me in the center. And then I'm going through the center hole of my signature. And I'm going to pull my floss through and I'm going to leave a tail, just as long as you have a tail that you can tie off with. Then I'm going to go in the top hole and come out the top hole in my book. Then I'm going to go all the way to the bottom, go in the bottom hole, and then come in through the signature holes. And pull your string so that it's nice and snug, but not too tight. And my string on this one is on the left side of my long string. The tail is on the left side. So I want to come up through the center hole again on the right side of this long stitch here. So that means that I have a tail on my right side, a tail on my left side, and my string in the center so I can tie the knot on top of the string in the center. So my first signatures are in. I'm going to go ahead and put the other 2 in the same way. What I want to do now is put a light coat of gesso on the outside of this just to cover some of the writing and colors and things like that, because I might use a paper that's very lightweight and see-through. This is Liquitex gesso, and I'm just going to put it across the whole book. Now I can put a little paint on there and it will hold on to that gesso. I'm just going to use Warm White by Americana. I'm just going to put a coat on the whole outside of the book. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry. I'll probably do another coat before I come back. I've been thinking about how to put this book together the rest of the way, and I am more and more inclined to let it sit the way it is. Let this show through, let this be here on the edge. It just feels so organic to me. I'm thinking I like it. I am gonna add some papers to this, but what I wanna do is have a border here, and then I'm gonna take some paint and do some actual swatches here on the edge. So I'm thinking of taking this paper here and cutting along this green line. I'm gonna make it the size it needs to be first. Cut off a little extra and then I can trim it if I need to. I'm gonna cut off this white, but I'm gonna follow this green so it's kind of uneven and curvy. Kind of like that. After I've glued it on, I'll trim off the edges. Let's try something else. Let's try something real quick. We can always make more paper if we don't like this. I'm not gonna put this whole thing on. I'm gonna put it off to the edge and then trim it. So I'm just gonna glue this down right here. And now I'm gonna make my swatches, but I wanna put my name on there somewhere. The name of my book is Just Swatch Me. I like it. I'm trimming up my name. I'm not sure if I'm going to cut the words apart or not yet. Put it down here and put my swatches up here. Put the name here, put it up here. Well, let's put a swatch on and see what it looks like first. While that's drying a little more, I'm going to write the name of the paint in a Sharpie ultra fine point marker below the paint, and I might write the brand above it. I'd like to write them both below, but I didn't leave enough space because I really didn't know what I was going to do. And also, where I wiped off my extra paint on this paper, I think I'm going to make that the back of the book. This is a permanent marker. I was going to try to put a circle around here. You know, I really should do this over. I really should. I am going to paint over it. At least I know the marker is permanent. It's not smearing. Okay, when this is dry, I'm going to put another coat of that white paint on, like we did here, the Warm White. While that's drying, I'm going to try and get this cut down to size for that. I did put one coat of the Warm White on here. It's drying, and I'm going to go over it again. Okay, I'm gonna make sure this is stuck down and then I'm gonna trim it. I have my paper trimmed. I put another coat of the white paint on. I just realized one of my signatures is loose. I didn't get it tight enough. I'm not having a very productive day. I'm gonna stop and I'm going to resume tomorrow morning. So I came back in the next morning and the book was sitting here on the table, and I had such a really off day yesterday that I just was ready to scratch this whole video and this project. But I looked at it again and I thought, I really kind of think it's cute. I like it. I tightened this signature that was loose, so now that's not bothering me. So today I thought, well, okay, let's give this another try. Let's see if we can save it and follow through and get done. So we're gonna get back to it and see if I can do something that I like on this area here. And I thought I would try something different. Instead of putting the colors on the book itself, I thought I would just punch out some circles. This is a 1-inch punch, and I'm just gonna punch out 3 circles. And I think what I'll do, I'll swatch my circles and then put my circles on here. I made 2 more colors to put on here just to add another couple of them, but I don't like them on there, so I'm taking them off. So I'm just gonna glue these down. I'm just gonna add the names at the bottom once this is dry enough and there's no glue around. Kind of want pencil on there. I kind of like that with pencil. I don't know why. Less stand out in your face, maybe? Then I need to decide on my name here. All right, guys, I can't do this. I just can't. It's just not, something's not right. So I erased the names, that didn't help. I took the circles off. I've got this piece of paper here. Maybe taking some of these pieces off of here and putting them on there will make me feel better. Like, I really love this. I love that. Okay, I cut these little shapes out of my papers that I was telling you about, and I'm gonna glue those on and see if that makes me happy. I like this glued on here. I'm gonna go around all the shapes with my pencil. I like that better. I need my book name on there, Just Swatch Me. Okay, I have my little words on there. The more that I play with this and the more determined I get to make it the way I like it, I changed my font sizes from Just Swatch Me to Just Swatch Me, which is like that instead of like this. I'm going to take fluid matte medium. I'll show you after I put the lid back on. I'm going to go over my piece here so that I can seal in the pencil marks and the papers and everything, because I want to bring in maybe a little marker or something, and I want to make sure this doesn't run. This is what I used. Golden fluid matte medium. And this is here to keep my lid from sticking because it sticks, and I couldn't even get it off yesterday. I had to get help. I'm going to take a Faber-Castell Pet Artist pen. This is raw umber. And I'm just going to go around my Just Swatch Me. I'm going to bring my pencil back in. This is a white China marker. I usually like to bring that in too. Kind of mutes down what I've done, but I also see the white and I like it. This might ruin it because I may not like it, but I'm going to try it anyway. I'm going to try the Posca pen, the black Posca pen, and I'm going to bring black lines, kind of where my pencil lines are. I like that much better, much better. I'm just not sure if I'm there yet. I might want to color in my words here a little bit. I want to go ahead and put a ribbon on this because I want to be able to tie it closed. And so I've got a piece of sari ribbon. It was already this length, so I just decided to use the whole length. And actually it's kind of sewed together right here, so it might come apart. You never know. I took a piece and I laid it across the spine where I want it, and I left just a little tail on this side, and then I'm going to take the rest of it and just wrap it around and then tie it. And I want to glue that here, so I've got it held until I can get my glue open. That's still drying, but it dries pretty fast. That was Helmar Quick Dry Adhesive. It's pretty good glue for fabric and things, for sturdy holding. Then I'm just going to take this and wrap it around like that, and then tie it off. And if it ever breaks on me, I'll just do something different. But I think that's really cute now. Thank goodness. I mean, I was really not loving this. I'm just not happy with this now, so I gotta figure out something to do with that. I've got this piece here that's got these little marks, which are really cute. There's a leaf shape here and a partial here. I might try those. I'm gonna cut these out and then I'll see if I like it. Okay, I like this one. I cut the blue one out too. I don't like it as well. Kind of disappears on there. So I'm gonna glue this down, and I have this little black swatch. I'm gonna glue down here to put the year on. Now I could go ahead and put a spine on here to cover this, something like this that's already cut out. Do that and put a name like watercolor or whatever on there. I might do that, I don't know. I'm just gonna take a minute, let this dry, and then seal it. I'm just gonna use the same thing, the matte medium. I'm gonna wait for this pen to kind of set. Then I'm probably gonna put a varnish on top of everything to actually seal it, because this is not really actually sealing anything. I still haven't decided about the spine here. I'm kind of liking it. I wanna leave it because it says dark chocolate pecan coffee toffee, and I like that. I'm thinking about leaving it. But I am gonna varnish the top. I'm gonna use Liquitex Basic Gloss Varnish. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry, then I'm gonna do the back. Okay, I've got the sealer on, front and back, and it's dry. I am going to leave the spine alone because I actually like it. I didn't think I would leave this exposed. I thought I was gonna cover it. That's why I put the little strings on the outside, cut them short, and I was gonna cover this, but I kind of like it. I was thinking about going ahead and swatching in the book, but then I decided I'm not going to today. I just don't know how I want to set it up yet. This is part 1. This will be part 2. We'll work on this one tomorrow. This one was a struggle. I don't know what it was about it, but it gave me a struggle. I think I just had an off day. I think it affected my ability to see things the way I normally see them, which is the beauty in something before it even gets there. In this case, I was looking at it more like, I don't like what's on there right now, and I really just needed to keep going. So if you think that I can't find my way out of a bad situation and make it something I like, just swatch me. Okay, not every situation I can find myself out of. Some things just go in the trash. But most times I think I can work my way out. I really like this now. I will see you tomorrow and we'll do the second one. I'll talk to you later. Have a great whatever it is. Bye-bye.